Ooh. Oh, there it goes. I thought for a minute my mic wasn't picking up. Oh, shoot. And I let coconuts heat expire, which is never a good thing. We must keep the queen happy. Kind of strange. I've got one ear that is feeding a lower volume of music than the other, and I think I ran into this problem the last time my headphones died. Alright, here we go. Chris Isaac. Welcome, Chris. Good to see you. I've got a big cocoa bean over here. Oh, are you gonna give us a stretch? No. No stretch. Not so lucky. Alright, so I need to hide that, and I've got to do my sketch. I feel like I've done this title before, but I'll search and rename it if I have to. I do a Granny Bear comic today. E is upside down. Alright, so we've got, I think it'll be a 4 up. Oh, big stretch! Extra space, because I have some text here. Got, I think, I'm gonna I'll do a little close-up showing all the apples. She's going to be holding on to a little one. And then we're going to have a little bit of a pullback. Maybe she'll drop her apple. Drop. Uh-oh. And this is going to be a rumble. And then we'll have a nice cloud. They're running with more apples. And then we have the, because the text is going to be essentially, I'm so glad we got all these apples. I'm not sure if we'll have enough, but we'll make do with, you know, the paws and ingredients we've got. And then, of course, the floof's here, and they collect more apples and come to Granny Bear's aid. And I think I'll have, like, them standing above and laughing. Gonna have like a what on earth. Let's save and let's group. Got some files from the client, which was good. I was waiting on that. So I can add that to stuff I've been working on. Another big stretch! You're giving so much today, Beanie. Sharon, hello, welcome. Happy Thursday to you too. I've already gotten some big stretches out of Coco. Alright. Gosh darn it. I'm getting more deja vu on this comic again. But I went back through my archive already. I've gone all the way back. Let me just go back a little bit more. There's the crispy surprise. That book. Spot, scale of blue, sweet leaves. I'm all the way back to Easter and I don't have anything. Way back to January, and I don't have anything. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop looking. Right. I'm even back to where I'm doing reposts from now. So, all right. Just get that deja vu so often now because I've made so many comics, but not really nearly as many as some. But It's just, sometimes you get the, have I done this before? Surely I have. Things kind of going here. Maybe it's because I've been kind of thinking about this comic for a little bit, and that's what I'm getting the deja vu from. Started up another movie in the background while I was working last night. One I hadn't seen in a while, I, Robot. I was trying to remember. I think the villain in the movie was the AI Vicky. And it's kind of prophetic, isn't it? How we're dealing with AI stuff right now. Getting ever closer to the sentient. Some people I think have said that it already is, but that down and we're good. I thought it was kind of funny because you can, in some of the, I can't call, like it was what, a 2014 movie? It's not that old. But some of those older movies, you can tell that they were like really hyped with some of the special effects and scenes, like the slow-mo jump and some of these scenes with the android, a robot, or whatever you want to call him. What is his name? Sunny? It's just like a little, just dramatic, like they had new access to technology or new stuff and they just wanted to go for it. I think I felt that way kind of with Dragonheart, the original one with Sean Connery as Drago. I still love that movie. It's cheesy as heck, and it doesn't hold up as well, but I can't, I would say it's, I don't know. You can still, yeah, it probably doesn't hold up as well. The nostalgia holds up, definitely. Alright, so let's get in on this. What's the dragon hunter in that movie? Was it Dennis Quaid? I think it was Dennis Quaid. Granny Bear's head a little bit and get into this. Yeah, it's not been like forever since I've seen it, but it's been about probably a year or more, and it was on something and I watched a bit of it, and I think I'm probably going to have to rewatch it again. I rewatched Volcano recently. Gosh, I forgot about Anne Heche and how she had a moment there in the 90s where she was like in everything. And how did they ever release any information on her death? Because I remember that kind of like incredible, like, not, I mean, yeah, horrific car crash, but there was like some news footage of her being awake and flailing her arms, and as she was being loaded onto the ambulance, and then just, okay, she's passed. But I remember there was something weird about that whole thing. But yeah, Dragonheart was a good one. I remember they were really like super stoked because that was kind of, gosh, what year was that? It was a little bit after Jurassic Park, but it was kind of the first dragon movie. It makes me want to watch House of Dragons again, but just I'm still kind of not happy with where they ended season 2. Like, what did you do this for? Why? I know it's because of the writer's strike and stuff like that, but just sad. Because they don't want to give anything away, but it's just like right up to the edge of a massive like section in the books, like a massive battle, and just bloop, cut it off. That's it. That's all you're gonna get. Although I love Matt Smith as Damien. That was a great, actually everybody was cast really well. I wasn't really sure about the whole first season where they kept on bumping, over time, changing the actresses and stuff, but I think everyone they picked was tremendous. I also watched Reign of Fire. That's a goodie, oldie but a goodie. Kind of Matthew McConaughey in his action phase, and was Christian Bale, and it was also one of the I think the first role I remember Gerard Butler in was, I'm trying to remember, was Phantom of the Opera before or after Reign of Fire? I kind of have to mentally switch out. I'm sorry, Gerard, but not the best thinking. I have to kind of switch out. I'll just kind of substitute Michael Crawford in there and just think about that. Emma whatever her name is. Emmy Rossum. She did good as Christine. Oh, but that opening, oh my goodness. I think that is the best Broadway to movie opening like equation, you know, that I've ever seen, because I actually I went to see Phantom of the Opera, and it was, I think, no, it wasn't my first play, or rather musical, that I went to see, but oh man, I want to say we went, my parents took me to Indianapolis to see it because that's where it was stopping, and they got seats right beneath the chandelier. And oh my goodness, chills. And you know, the whole thing crashes down. Yeah, you've never been to see a musical? It's definitely, well, I know it's not for everybody, but I don't know. There's something about it that, personally, when really powerful music kind of always makes me cry. And, you know, when you're in, even, you know, sitting up and back in seats, it's just being immersed in that music, in that environment. There's just something very powerful about it. And I know musicals aren't for everybody, but Phantom of the Opera is definitely one that's quite high on my list. But the movie, I think, translated that opening scene, because it starts out several years later when they return to this opera house, and it's kind of dilapidated, and they're auctioning off all this junk. And they come to this chandelier, which kind of plays a big part in the play, in the story, and they illuminate it and raise it again, and that starts the overture, which is also one of the best pieces. And I mean, if you can call, yeah, I mean, it's one of the most famous pieces for Phantom of the Opera. But as soon as that chandelier lights, the overture starts and it rises up above the audience. And so they did that in the movie, but also what they did was this special effect where it went from black and white to color, and it kind of blew away all of the cobwebs and the old. And so you see the chandelier rising, and the opera house being renewed, and you transporting back into the time where this story takes place. Yeah, really tremendous. I think probably the first play I ever saw, I was really little, but I did see Cats. There was some play that some people in my high school, some of my friends were a part of, that I went to see. It wasn't, maybe it was Oklahoma. I think it was Oklahoma. I went to see that to support my friends. I think another one I went to see, I've seen a few. That's a little better. I mean, as far as movie musicals, my favorites are definitely Sound of Music, King and I, and Phantom of the Opera. Those are probably my top three. I usually watch Sound of Music every year. Well, I would say I do. Yeah, I do King and I too. I do King and I too. Do I watch? Yeah, whenever I see Phantom, I always kind of tune into that one. That one had a big cast. It had Gerard Butler as the Phantom, Emmy Rossum as Christine. There was, what's her name? Minnie Driver. She played the diva. And I can't remember who Raoul was, but I feel like I recognize him, but I can't place his name. There are some other people in it too. King and I gets watched regularly. It's such a good one. Oh my gosh, I was obsessed over her dresses and just the huge skirts and that golden one that she wears at the banquet. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Lemuel Brenner, oh my goodness, he played such a good king. And you know, I haven't watched because like in the late 90s, I think it was the late 90s, what's her face? Jodie Foster and Chow Yun-fat, I think. They did a non-musical Anna and the King, I think that's what it was called. And I enjoyed that one, but I haven't watched it, you know, really more than a few times, certainly not anytime recently, because I honestly don't. Can that be found on demand? I'm trying to think. Dee, hello, welcome to the stream. Have you seen Yul Brynner and Anastasia? No, I have not. Ingrid Bergman. Oh wow, nice. I'll have to look that up. And now I want to watch. The animated Anastasia. I haven't seen that in such a long time. I love the dresses and outfits in that one too. The sparkly navy gown she wears to the opera, and the I guess it would be the coronation or announcement gown. Man, those movies had some great costuming. So we're going to give Boop a little apple. It's more like a turning around. Of course. Gotta toast the other side. You can't have an unevenly toasted cocoa. I went to see a performance of Grease. I know that. And I went to see it, I believe, gosh, I'm trying to remember. I went to see it with some high school friends and college friends, maybe. I can picture it, but I don't recognize where we were. So I think it was a theater that wasn't like one of my usual, like usually things would come to the Purdue campus because the Hall of Music was actually a massive performance hall, and it could take pretty much any Broadway show that came along, and so it was usually in the Hall of Music that those shows would appear, but sometimes they'd go to Indianapolis, but I can't remember where that one was, but I clearly remember sitting down in the seats and watching Grease with them. She's a good girl. She's a little chunky. But I think maybe I've been changing her food up a little bit, and she used to get 2 cans a day and then get free range, and now she just gets 1. And I think that's a little bit better because she has slimmed down a little bit. She's not having as much trouble, jumping and doing that. So also cleaning herself, which is, important for cats. So I'm hopeful she'll get a good report card from the vet. I think she goes back in March or something. Give that wing a little bit more. Oh, how can I forget Prince of Egypt? That counts as a musical, definitely. Okay, oh gosh. Talking about powerful openings. Damn. I can't. I've got to put that one at the top. Yeah. that whole sequence, I just remember when I saw that in the theater, because if I remember right, the advertisements for that movie were just the opening number, similar to what Lion King was. And I remember seeing that in one of the movies that I had gone to, and just chills. And then of course you watch the entire thing. Another top musical for me is Singing in the Rain. That's a good one too. You know, I watched one of my favorites when it wasn't really much of a musical at all, but they had him doing, you know, his dancing stuff. Gene Kelly did a Jack and the Beanstalk, and that was always so much fun. I watched that a lot, and I remember parts of it were animated. And I kind of watched it with the Mickey and the Beanstalk. I know that one was a shorter, it wasn't really a full movie, but Alright, I need to make her text. And I need to make the text bigger. What did I say? There's enough room that I can bump up this apple. alphabet mark today. Might not be enough to make everything I planned, but we'll move. Alright, so I need a little bit more room here. I'm going to make this a little longer to give my text room to breathe. So I'm just going to bring it and make it equal with the sides of the frame. And then let's go in here and just extend a little arm. Well, yeah, I need to fix that. I think this needs to come up. So first, I'm going to group it with my line art, and now let's go in and I'm going to just take out this frame. I think I've saved in a while. Filed, so. Ugh. I'm getting worse and worse. Ah, stop it! Real quick before I forget. No big stretch. No big stretch. But I got an ear flip. These legs a little less long. The ears looking weird. Started watching Grease 2 on YouTube. I need to get back to that. I think I know those songs. Well, I know I definitely watched Grease 2 more than Grease 1. certain fan base for Grease 2. Let me go ahead and draw this as a box so I can show and edit really. Sorry. That's gonna be her arm. This needs to be behind the basket, sorry, the grocery apples. I don't need her face on anymore. And then since that's just going to be a fold over, I'm just going to let the, there we go. I need to make the point size a little smaller over here. I don't want to make Boop. GB's stunned already, but I want to make... I gotta decide if Boop is gonna be looking back, because in my original drawing she was. I gotta remember to drink water. I'm not drinking anything. Let's just experiment with this a little bit. I suppose that'll work. I just need to bring this down a little bit and move it over. I think that'll be okay because I pulled back. I found, you know, in doing the reformatting for some of the older comics, I found a few places where I miss, or rather, maybe I hadn't decided yet on Boop's wings, the pattern, because I've got 2 dots and 3 dots. Maybe I'll have her little antenna kind of I like that one. I like that one. I like that one. Okay, let's with that, I don't know. All right, let me just edit. Oh, that might be a little bit better. That might be like something like that. I think that one might be mine. I like that. I think that'll work. All right. Oh wait, it needs to be attached to her back. Bring this one forward a little bit so you can actually see. I think I need to make Boop a little smaller because she is going to be too big. Well, just maybe a touch smaller. Boop directly below where she's holding the apple. He is not helping. Here we go. Why does Miss Boop look so shooketh? Because there's a rumbling, a sudden rumbling everywhere. We have to group these, I think. So let me zoom out and show the comic so far. I'm going to add some more rumbles and some more ground shaking effects. So the comic is called A Little Help, and it starts out with, actually I think I can move this first set of stuff out and take down the second. Just move that out of here. And then let me bring this set down. Alright, so Granny Bear and Boop are on the way back from the market, and I guess I need to erase that test line. And so Granny Bear says, "We found such a wonderful crop of apples at the market today. Might not be enough to make everything I planned, but we'll try." And all of a sudden they hear this rumble, like the ground is shaking. And then the point of view changes, that they're looking down the road and they see this huge fluffle of floofs running with a bunch of new apples. And they're excited. They've got, utensils. And then they run past Granny Bear, and I haven't settled on her final sentence, but it's going to be something along the lines of, "Now we don't have to pick. We've got plenty of extra apples and helping hands." Something like that. "Well, Miss Boop, now we don't have to pick," that type of deal. That, her just mentioning that she might be short on apples to make sweets alerts the floofs, and they come running to help. Just a second. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. All right, here we go. Back on task. I need to go in here real quick and erase some of these sketch lines that I left in. So I'm gonna have, well, maybe I'll take out one of these. Ah! No, that doesn't work. And the air is rumbling. So she's feeling. And she's gonna be like, oh my goodness, what is that? Let's bring this up some. Chris Squared, you have a similar name to Christy. Yes, he does. Almost the same initials. Bring this in here. All right. Goodness, what is that? Or what could that be? Or I'm just going to leave it, my goodness, what is that? Bring that forward. Let's group the set. And now I'm going to come in here and erase this frame. I'm going to do one last detail. I'm going to do some, I'm going to try to do some rocks or pebbles kind of jumping around maybe. Let's see if we can. Now it just kind of looks like. All right, now I can focus on the fun floof stampede after save. We had any name confusion in the past deck? No, I don't think so, actually. probably draw the ground before I draw roofs, but let me just start this group. I know the ground isn't going to be seen here, but I want to make sure I'm drawing on the correct area. They're going to be running down this. I think a lot of that, I mean, kind of default to calling me Laugh though. But then again, Laugh kind of, that was Twitch, and I stopped doing Twitch around when I switched over to the Adobe stuff. I still did it a little bit. Take a moment to do a little bit of shading on this ground, even though I know I'm probably not going to use it. It's going to be covered. Reminds me of something when I was little. My nickname was CJ, and I hated it because I thought it sounded like a boy's name. I was like, stop calling me CJ. And it was when I was really, really, really little. And but yeah, it's weird, those memories, how those come back. And that's a way my sisters used to kind of get under my skin. They'd call me CJ. But now they call me Chrissy. Or Christmas. Christmas is pretty common. The other thing they did to Chrysanthemum Sawdust. I'd say that's like a stripper name, but it's Sawdust just doesn't do it. The other thing they do to upset me was sing the Brahms Lullaby. And it wasn't because that was like a bedtime lullaby. I hated that song because it sounded like someone was dying, and that really distressed me. I guess I was a weird little kid. Alright, so let's get with these floofs. I've got a big one here that's running with an apple. I need to make room for the cloud of dust behind them and other details. Now I'm going to go ahead and You'd think it would be really easy to draw mouth's mouth, but so much can change with just a little bit of an angle difference. See, like, make this smaller, bring it up. It's different. Make it bigger. Got a totally different expression. I think cherry pie lattice would be my stage name. Cherry pie lattice. You'd have to, your entrance song would have to be cherry pie. She's my cherry pie. Now I have to listen to that song. I guess it's not on my 80s list. I know you usually have an 80s list running. I don't believe I've heard that one on there recently. Alright, so I've got to do some other floofs. Maybe I'm going to keep this guy in his own group because I'm just going to color in the group, so if I have to move him around or make him smaller, that'll be easier. And then I'll go through at the end and draw the dust cloud, the kind of stampede cloud. Now this one's going to have a whole armful of apples. It's going to, let's see, let's make a floof holding a bunch of apples. I think I'm going to blend the apples together maybe. Maybe just have, because he's going to be further away, maybe there won't be as much detail here. Let's make sure to group this guy because he's going to be difficult. He's going to be fading into the dust cloud. Oh, I know I said I was going to wait to do the dust cloud, but I think I need to incorporate it here. And then I'll come through and I'll do much thinner lines. I always think of the opening scene, the opening credits from Mulan when I'm drawing these clouds, because I loved how they did that in the animated sequence. It was just so beautiful. Alright, so that guy's taken care of. And let's see, how many more? I need probably a smaller floof here and a couple more here. I want this one to be maybe holding utensils. So he'll be like, yeah. He's gonna be jumping. I don't want this floof to be leaping off the ground. Maybe I'll put his footer a little bit further back. Now I think I have to redraw the body, because the body's looking weird. Let's redraw this section here. Let's just make it a little more smooth. Maybe I'll make him smaller. Give me a minute. Oh, and now I need to get rid of this and that. Give you a whisk. Whisk and maybe a spatula. Or a rubber scraper, depending on your home economic teacher. A spatula. Go. I'm gonna go ahead and just give this the handle a fill. All right. All right, let's go back out into the main group. We've got more floofs on the way. I'm going to have a couple. It looks like I drew one up here and another one on their head. So I can go ahead and get that settled out. And then draw the rest of my I'm going to group this guy, and I'm going to redo their face. I think I need to make this smaller. go. Got this guy with more apples, and then I think I need to fill in some more clouds. Okay. And then I'll also do a rumble. Oh, I should probably do it outside of the... That's alright. It's okay. Alright, I think I'll probably come through later and do maybe some, yeah, I don't know. I might just leave it that way because this is clearly the group of the floofs rumbling towards them. So I'll leave that for now. I'm gonna hit save. And then let's get over to this, where it's going to be Granny Bear saying, like we won't have to choose after all. We've got plenty of apples and helping hands. We have plenty of apples and helping paws now. Helpful paws. Helpful. Is this the same size as 30 point? Okay, hold on just a second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Now it's not. What are you sniffing at? What's going on? Oh, you're coming over here? Okay. Not behind me? You want to squish? Go ahead. Are you going to squish? Nope, you're going back? Okay. All right. Bring Bean with you. I don't know if she would enjoy that. Well, no, I would have to sedate her on the plane, but she could fit. It's just the underneath the front seat. Looks like we won't have to choose after all, Miss Boop. We have plenty of apples and helpful paws now. And maybe I'll have like apples kind of flying everywhere. And I'll have the cloud and then just little floof ears. The thing that is tricky about Bean is that she does not like to be held, and taking her through, because I would love to travel with a Beanie, but you have to hold the cat and go through the metal detector. So I would have to have her, hopefully they would allow me to keep her on a harness, because she literally acts, like she goes stiff, and so, but she's like a roly-poly ball, so it's just like she's doing a mummy walk or something, and all she wants to do is get out from your hands, even me. And but she'll snuggle. She wants attention and to be held and be touched, but her feet have to be on the ground. She is very strange. Section. I need to fix her face. needs to be a gentler. Maybe if I did the long mouth, something like that. That's closer, but she needs to be smaller. Maybe longer. Maybe like that. Bacon, hey there. How you doing today? Just gonna draw her feet here. And I need to draw the box of my box. The bag, but it's gonna be a box right now because simple lines. Oops. Doing pretty good. What you working on? I'm working on a comic. Oops. Working on a comic today. Posting tomorrow. It's just a short, cute Granny Bear and Boop comic. I think 5 apples, 6 apples, 4 apples. Well, she's holding it at a different angle. Maybe more. Okay, I'm just gonna erase this apple. And let's bring this down a little bit. Move back over here, and I need to draw her arm in. Let's switch this. Oh, whoops, whoops. I need to get her. Almost forgot her little shawl. And that's probably not going to show because I'm going to have the clouds of floof running around, but I do need to get this upper part drawn in. At least a base. Go over here, get rid of that, and I'm going to draw her shoulder up just a smidge more. Loop together here. The forward key to get it bigger. We need to make her smaller too. Go. Maybe. Okay, yeah, there we go. Alright, so now I can jump back out. Heard what happened recently at DragonCon? You mean the AI thing? Yeah, I heard the one dude was removed. That sounded like an kind of, from what I understand of the information that was put out, the person who booked the table was not who was there, and they were like a representative of a bunch of different artists, but it was actually AI, and they kind of, I don't know, it sounded like a lot of brain damage to me, certainly. Did I group Granny Bear? No, of course I did not group Granny Bear. No. Use some. Deeply concerned about this AI thing, hoping things are authentic. Yeah, I mean, I listened to some interesting discussion on it that was really kind of questioning longer term effects of them cracking down on AI, because especially in Artist Alley, and what it would lead to perhaps them also cracking down on a lot of these fan artists that are a majority of the population of Artist Alley. It's all, or at least mostly all, fan art, and the only reason that they can actually, you know, sell there is because these companies aren't, you know, aren't going to all these small conventions and enforcing their copyrights. So, you know, them making a stink about it and bringing it to the attention of the rights holders, and that pathway may bite them. That's I've never liked fan art, and that's why I always, when I did stuff, like, it falls squarely under parody. Like even the Tuxie cosplays that I did, those fall squarely under parody, and it just, it always bothered me. It's an easy way to make a lot of money at a convention when you're doing fan art stuff, as opposed to original IP. But it just, the legality of it always kind of scared me away. And some of that stuff, it looks like official art, and a lot of them are making, you know, they're doing a lot of accessories and items and stuff that they manufacture overseas, so they look like authentic, you know, Disney pieces or whatever. And it just, I don't know, at your own risk, guys. But I'm sure they have some answers for that. That's why I stopped selling that one Momo and Totoro print, because it was just too darn close, and I did not want to have that heat. It was one of the most popular prints and things that I did at the time, and it just, it's too risky. I need to make that eye a little bit closer to what it really is. Oh, let me catch up on some chat here. Sounds overwhelming. You're not meant to take in all of these things at once. Very true. That's why I like watching live streams. You got a screenshot of that to see, just out of curiosity. The JP drawing you did a while back ago is pretty fire too. Good call to make as an artist. We're wondering whether it looks like a copy good enough. It holds a lot. It's looking so cute. Gotta go. Have a great week. Oh, take care, Sharon. Thank you so much for stopping by. I am not going to be streaming next week. I am taking a little trip, and we'll be seeing Chris in chat here. I'll be back next Tuesday. And I do not have my phone with me right now. It got taken away for a minute, which I am incredibly pissed off about. So. Alright, let's look this over here. I'm going to draw this behind. I'll bring this down a little bit. Maybe I'll bring Boop down a little bit. I need to make my someone need to use it to make a call. Alright, and I'm gonna erase this up here. I'm gonna put this over here. Go. Looks like we won't have to choose after all, Miss Boop. We have plenty of apples and helpful paws now. Alright. Now let's move that over here. Alright, a little help. I'm gonna move, I think, this down. A little more room. Centered. And I've got this that I need to... Alright, so let's go over this. Don't forget to go. Yes, God, I hope it works. It worked on the way there last time. The way back, it was broken. But the way there, I hope it'll be okay. All right. So she says the title is A Little Help, and we found such a wonderful crop of apples at the market today. Might not be enough to make everything I planned, but we'll try. And then all of a sudden they feel like rumbling, and Ms. Boop drops her apple. And Granny Bear says, "My goodness, what is that?" And then they look behind them, and they see the floofs charging towards them with more apples and cooking utensils and helpful paws. And then final frame is they're running ahead to get into the kitchen, and Granny Bear says, "Looks like we won't have to choose after all, Miss Boop. We have plenty of apples and helpful paws now." So it's another cute Granny Bear and Floof's baking comic. Yeah, I kept on asking the stewardess, and she kept on going back to reset it because a lot of people were asking, and it was broken for whatever reason. Oh, thank you, Dee. It will be wonderful. Nice break. I'm actually going to be breaking from daily drawings too, so it'll be nice to just have that break as well. All right, I think that'll be it for me today. This will probably be my daily right here. Maybe. Actually, or maybe this one. I don't know. We'll see. Missed it all. Aw. Welcome. Oh, Slice of Mallow. Good to see you. How fun. Thank you so much for joining. Just hang out and relaxing does sound nice. Aw, take care. Thank you, Catherine. But yeah, that'll be it for me today. I will be back not this following Tuesday, but Tuesday after that. And things will resume as normal there. But I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to go ahead. Indeed. I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. And let's see here. I already hit save. No, I did not hit save. Let's hit save. There we go. Alrighty. So yeah, if you want to see how this comic ends up, you can go ahead and check that out on my social media as well as my website. They go live on Fridays and Tuesdays. I've been skipping my Tuesday comics just to kind of get a little bit of a break from that schedule. I should be resuming Tuesday-Friday schedule soon. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.